My name is Tori Quismondo, and I'm going to assist you with some ADA basic formatting. The purpose of this video is to give you an idea how to use basic formatting on your documents when you create them. Now, although this is a Word file, these same steps should also be used in your online environment. If you're using Moodle or Blackboard or any other learning management system, you'll still want to use the buttons as they are provided for you so that you can complete the formatting. Before we get started, I'm going to share with you one quick button. This button is on the Home tab in the paragraph grouping. It's the button my mouse is selected, and it's called the ShowHide button. When I click on the ShowHide button, it will allow me to see my formatting. You see, every time I hit enter, I get this little paragraph symbol, and guess what? Every time I hit the space, it gives me a dot, and that means space. And every time I hit tab, it gives me an arrow, so I can view the formatting on my document. Now, why is this important? I'm going to share with you. If you create a document, a reader would be something that someone who's blind would use so they can identify what's in your document. A reader reads all of this formatting, so it is important you use your basic formatting properly. So what do we mean by that? Okay, I've got the words book sale up here, and I would like to format that. In order to format it properly, I'd want to use my buttons that are available to me in the font grouping. I can change my font style. I can change my font size. I can bold, italicize, or underline. Use the strike through. I've got a lot of options up here if I wanted to. I can change my font color by using the font color button. Now, here's the big one. In many cases, when people are using Microsoft Office Word, they would like to center their text, so they hit the space button. And they sort of eyeball it and they think, oh, okay, I like it right there. Now, that's what we mean by using the buttons properly. If a reader were to come in here and read this to a user, it would say space, 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 space. Well, by this time, I'm in outer space because I have lost the attention of what I'm supposed to be focused on. But if I use the software properly, so I'm going to back out of all those spaces, and I come up here in my paragraph grouping and use my center button, it would then read the document to the user as book sale centered text. Okay, so that's quite different from it saying space, 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 and instead it keeps you focused on the topic and not on the formatting. So the user can understand and get the formatting by the basic simple steps, book, sale, centered text, as opposed to all of the other formatting being read to them and they lose focus on the content. And the same thing here. If I would like to center my picture, I would not use the space tab or the space or the tabs. I would use the center button. And if I would like to place some text down here, and I say, oh, I don't need that extra space. As a matter of fact, a lot of extra spaces will cause complications when you run the accessibility checker. So you don't want to keep hitting a bunch of spaces if you're trying to go to the next page and you hit a bunch of spaces, it will cause issues with the accessibility checker because that's an improper ADA step. You know, if you wanted to go to the next space or to the next page, you would go to your Insert tab and you would choose a page break. That would bring you to page 2 and you have no issues there. Okay, so you want to make sure you're using your software properly. I'm going to hit undo. Oh, let me mention one thing. I see the words page break right there so that I know I have a page break only because on my Home tab in my paragraph grouping, I have my ShowHide button on. I can click that and release it and I don't view all of that formatting. But for me personally, I never finish out a file without taking a look at this because it lets me know what the reader will read, and also it makes it quicker if I use the software properly. And when I go to use my accessibility checker, which is File, Check for Issues, check accessibility, it will give me a more clear identification of the items I need to check out prior to finalizing my document. Okay, so you can see here I don't have any errors so far with my formatting, but I have a missing alt text for my picture, and that's going to be addressed in another video. Okay, so I'm going to backspace this page break. I don't need it there. I want to mention one or two more things. Instead of hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces for a tab, you notice I get repeated blank characters. So if I would like to tab in, I need to make sure that I hit the tab button, and then it's not an issue. Okay? Now, here, if I would like to say that the books are on sale, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take out my extra space here. Okay, books are on sale. The sale is Monday at the library, and it's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, now I've seen sometimes where instead of using bullets, people have used an asterisk, Shift 8 or an asterisk, right? Well, I want to use an asterisk if I'm multiplying, okay? And I want to use an asterisk if it's used properly, but in this case, I actually want bullets. So I will select all 3 lines, and I will come up to my paragraph grouping and select my bullets button. So now I've created a very small part of the beginning of a flyer, and I've created it properly. So make sure that you are using these buttons provided for you. If you're in your learning management system, the same buttons are provided for you as well. So always double check by using this little button here, this ShowHide button. It will give you an idea. This way, when you go to run your accessibility checker, it will make things much easier for you.